Because I'm an expert welder, I've come up with a great solution to my lack of T-section. You might not be able to see that, for this stringer here that comes along here. You remember from last time that was short. I didn't want to go out and buy some more T-sections. I don't need any at the moment. I might need it in the future. And I do have 2 shorter pieces that, if welded together, would be long enough. And because I am an expert welder now, as you've all discovered, I'm going to have a go at just fabricating that together, and we'll use that. And I think that will be great. And then we can move on. So what I'm back to doing is measuring again. It seems to be an eternal theme. I'm really determined to get this back correct before we start really tacking things in. I think I've got a method. I'm going to use the level of the floor because it's not far out from the level of the deck, and it might actually be a bit more accurate. Some of that might be measurement error. So I think the floor's a good datum to use. What I'm doing again is I've got back to putting this level in because I've put this new steel section in that we just put in here, and I'm getting that level. I'm getting it level in 2 dimensions. We want it level from front to back to make sure it does follow the contour, but we also need to make sure that it's level left and right, and I've done that. So that's 0, so that's level with the rest of the deck. Now, there was a lot of comments again last week, and I'm sorry if I don't make things clear, but people were saying, well, the boat might not be on the level, so why are you trying to do a level? That's ridiculous. I'm not trying to take absolute levels. What they are is relative levels. So what I do with the digital level is I can take a datum from something and I can set it to 0, which is what I did, and then we can compare the angle of something else to that datum. So if I set that at 0, I want all my other levels to be 0, and that will set it 0 to the level that I've picked. A few of you have also said that I should level the boat first. That's, again, for the same reason, that's not very realistic. Because the question I would ask you then is, which level do you want me to level the boat up to? The level of the floor or the level of the deck? Or pick your level. And it's a lot of work trying to level the boat up front and back, left and right, when I can just take relative datums. So compared to the floor in the aft cabin and these stringers, these larger stringers that come front and back, this level is 0. And what I'm going to do is make sure that the hull relative to that level is the same front and back. And that's what we're going to do. And at the moment, you remember it's too high here and it's too low there. I did put in the braces to move it around. I've took those out now to kind of rejig it and do it again and rethink it. And part of what I've got to do, part of the reason that it doesn't seem to be level is this stringer is bending down. I'm going to have to remove a little bit of the material out the side there, which has got in the way, preventing it from coming up. So I'm going to remove a little bit more material. We'll lift that up, we'll get that level, and hopefully we can start making the back end of this boat symmetrical, because when we do, we can start putting the back end in. what a fantastic day. Beautiful blue skies, a little bit windy and cold. It's warming up, it's March, getting there. It's only 9 degrees today, but 9 degrees with a blue sky is good for this part of the world. Still plenty of water left behind. I hope the image quality is okay, because the screen covers that I put on here, it must have fallen off and I haven't realised I've damaged the lens again. So I need to buy myself a new lens cover. I went to buy one last night, but they put the price up. I got one on offer last time, so I'm hanging out. I'll see how this goes. Right, let's go and do some work. So I think this week's video is all about learning from your mistakes. And I've been scratching my head for quite a while now over the asymmetry in this hull. And I think I finally cracked it. But in order to do it, I've had to undo some of the work that we've done. And I've spared you the pain of having to watch me redo what I've already done. But let me show you where we've got to. I think the mistake that I made started here with this stringer, because I made an assumption that it needed to be straight and level with the hull that was forward of it. But now in retrospect, I believe that it wasn't supposed to come straight back. It was supposed to grade upwards, kick a little bit towards the back. And what I've done by straining this side out is I've lowered this side of the hull. Now, that means that this stringer has got too much material in it. It should have been shaped upwards. But also, the stiffeners that I put in are preventing the hull from taking its shape when I start trying to press on it with these supports. So I've had to remove the welds from this big stiffener, this big stringer. And also, I'm just removing the stiffeners to allow this plate to flex into its normal place. And to do that, I've obviously had to cut the welds out, which is a good reason for tack welding and not seam welding, because you never know when you make a mistake when you're a bit of an amateur like me. So I think I'm finally getting there. I've spared you the pain. I know a few of you feel as though you'd like to see me do everything. But I've not just spared you the pain of watching me do this, it's also, I want to quickly get on and catch up. And filming everything does take time. It really does slow you down, you'd be surprised. So I've put the camera down for a while and I've just jobbed on. I'll catch up with you very soon. I've got the hull into the position I want it, I think, for this time, for final, I'm sure. I'm not going to put the stiffeners back in, just in case. And I'm going to follow that ethos of just tack welding these bits in, not going silly with the welding, and then we'll do the welding later when we're happy, because some of the bigger welds I did caused me a nightmare in time, having to get them out. For anybody who was doubting the penetration of the welds, by the way, don't. The welds were good. They caused me a lot of problem. They took a lot of cutting out. They penetrated quite deep. Okay, next job. Trying to get these welds out. I've scored into the steel at the back here a bit, so I'm just gonna pad weld this up. This is going to be good practice for those other parts where we build up any pits in the steel with doing a little bit of welding. Let's see how we get on with that. So you can probably see here a lot more flash rust. Some here as well, that's in one day. as things have been dripping and the bucket's full again because it's been raining. Even though we're going to be painting this fairly soon, I think we need a solution to this bucket overflowing all the time. So a few of you have suggested the same solution, and it's a good solution, that I put a tank fitting on this bucket with a hose so that it drains elsewhere. So I'm going to do that. This can kind of be my water catching bucket. Right, I better empty it out first. Now that's done, let's get this rudder top ready for painting.
Someone to save me, no, and don't come running to blame me. From miles away I can tell that something's off. The way you look and how you pause when you talk, I think I said enough. You said your love for me something brand new. You said this is something you would never do. Here we are in your car, let me see who you are, who you really are, yeah. Don't need you here to say you're sorry, 'cause if you're gonna leave me, then just do it. Don't take it slow, don't be gentle.
Can you believe it's the next day? Look at the state of the weather. Unbelievable.
Just do it. Ooh, ooh, Let's be honest for a second. Yeah, you're being over your head, babe. 'Cause there is no one other than me that can make you feel the way you feel when I hold you. I think I said enough. You said your love for me something brand new. You said this is something you would never do. Here we are in the car, let me see who you are, who you really are, yeah. Don't need you here to say you're sorry, 'cause if you're gonna leave me, then just do it. Don't take it slow, don't be gentle. Look, I just gotta know, if you're gonna leave me, then just do it.
Right, I just need to put some supports in for this back. So I'm going to use some of this angle and we'll make a support go on here and the same thing up at the front. So I was just about to start painting it, and look what's happened. The heavens have opened. It's chucking it down again. We've got drips going in here. So I think I'll have to try and paint around it if I can.
I am alright. There's something about the way you make me feel inside. I'm counting down the days till we fly away, heading to the sun, only you and me. Don't wanna waste another day being stuck here in this place. No, I wanna hold your hand in mine, watch the sunset in your eyes. Baby, I want us to act like we are 22 right now. Just let go, lose control, play songs on the radio too loud. This could be magical. Wow, wow. This could be magical. Wow, wow. To escape, and here we are, driving narrow streets in a rusty car, leading to the sea. Think we're getting close. We should take a pic, baby, strike a pose. I remember every.
Okay, so I do apologise. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, which is better than 2 steps backwards and 1 step forward. I've got this rudder stock in. It's a little bit more secure with some extra reinforcements. I've got paint on the rudder stock. I've just dabbed some paint on some of these stiffeners that we've taken out, just to give it a little bit of protection. Got some more work to do there. We've put in this bit here on this larger stringer, but we've not welded it in yet. So I just want to make sure everything's hunky-dory before we start putting bigger welds in, because I don't want to end up spending hours undoing work I've already done. So, once again, I apologise for slow progress. Been a pretty busy week for me. I've had quite a few days at work. We also did the Bulgaria trip, which put us back a little bit. But I've got to go home now. It's Thursday. Try and edit this video tonight, so you've got it tomorrow for Friday. See how I look after you. Anyway, don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe button, hit the hype button, that really helps. Leave me a comment. Thank you once again to all the supporters, Amazon wishlist, anybody that's watching, members, patrons, what's the other one? Coffee. Thank you to each and every one of you. See you next week. Bye for now. Look at the weather. I bet you all wish you lived in West Wales, don't you? Where it's eternally wet, windy, cold. Although the temperatures are rising slightly, so fingers crossed I'm hopeful.